Well, it has been like 2 weeks or more since the Duet Night Abyss's release now, and I gotta say this game is so damn average, but I kinda like it through this period of time. I mean, it's not like being an average game is wrong, it's just that it kinda feels less special, and in turn the game won't sustain a wider audience, and when you try and go ahead and copy a game that still sits strong after a decade of being out, then you really have a lot on your plate, and seeing the game being pushed after 2 years of development is pretty rough, since I think Duet Night Abyss could really use an extra year or half a year of development, cause you can see the rough edges around its main mechanics. The entire animation of bullet jumping makes you simply disappear for a split second, the dash is kind of just there, and the wall climbing is far from what I would like it to be, and just feels kinda junky, but other than those issues I think that the movement is pretty responsive and kind of satisfying to pull off. It's pretty comparable to Warframe's quality of movement, but with addition like air dashing or grapple hooks that looks like they have been added straight from Wuthering Waves. There is no fall damage, which encourages the player to go out there and explore the possibilities, and even no stun when you fall from a certain height like in Warframe. You can also do slams and glide while firing. There is no possibility of gliding without firing or reloading though. Also, you can't shoulder fire for some reason, which is pretty stupid, I gotta say. Like, just let me run and gun without my character taking up a half of my screen, but I guess this is how it's gonna go when you have one button for shooting and one for melee weapons. Surprisingly enough, there is no secondary weapon, which is a okay choice, I guess. We can't have everything from Warframe, and the overall energy and skill system is somewhat okay. You have your stamina or skills which are working like cooldowns. You have your standard skill and an ultimate, not more, not less. This is a pretty simple combat system, all things considered. The weapon selection is pretty vast, and everybody will find something that will suit their playstyle, be it a shotgun, a flamethrower, or a standard assault rifle. The combat has pretty simple learning curve, and I gotta say, while it's good to get new players faster into the game and makes it easy to learn the main mechanics, but by the end game it can feel pretty mind-numbing. I'm currently level 30, and I gotta say, it already starts to feel mind-numbing. Go there, claim that, kill certain number of enemies, and while Warframe is pretty much the same, we have much more dynamic things going on. You will be exploring map looking for resources, some missions will see the map being transformed as the time goes on, and in some missions you have secrets. Meanwhile, Duet Night Abyss only has its main objectives, and it feels pretty damn boring to do one thing over and over without any dynamics like changing objectives or dynamic environments. Yeah, the environments do change during the reset, but still, I would much rather have randomly generated environments which would make missions more dynamic and less repetitive overall, and could be a welcome addition. And now we gotta talk about the character grind, which was the main selling point of this game, and was said so much in every video I watched that I lost count. And it's a mixed bag. It's basically gacha where you roll for fragments, but that gacha doesn't have a pity, and you can get a random junk that you don't care about. You need 15 rounds at most where you get the 2 character fragments, and 3 if you end up getting lucky and you will get 10 character fragments. You need 30 of these to unlock a character, and yeah, that's basically all you need to do to acquire new characters. No need to wait for them to craft for 3 days, and no need to craft any materials to get them, which is pretty cool. But then you ask, how is the grind though? Well, it can be kinda annoying not even getting the character shard, but considering the lack of stamina in this game and the fact that you complete the commission for the shards pretty quickly, I think it's fine, even though there is no guarantees here, just pure RNG. But I guess we could use a pity where maybe after like 10 runs you get guaranteed 2 character shards to don't make the players too frustrated with the grind. You can also get those resource boosting packs with real money, and there are even ones that will boost your chance of obtaining character fragments, which is pretty cool if you want to get some faster progress without spending money for the characters. I heard many people criticizing this, but listen, it has been in Warframe and in many other shooters before. A optional premium thing to help you progress faster won't influence others' progress in any way, shape or form. So if you don't want to use it, then just don't. This is a looter shooter game, so don't expect that there won't be things from other games like this. Now for the story review from the beginning. You gotta know that I think that this game was truly inspired by Arknight's storytelling. We have social segregation, magic, and even Frost Nova death, which is pretty cool for me. Themes are grounded and there are some pretty wholesome and cool moments, I gotta say. I felt attached to the main characters, and even though the presentation was kinda rough around the edges, especially with NPCs' mouths being 2D, which looks pretty funny when they speak, I gotta say that it wasn't all bad. The cutscenes felt impactful and the characters don't only stand around doing nothing for 10 minutes talking about what is the meaning of life and actually do something. So the story isn't overbloated and will be familiar to everybody that plays or played Arknights or maybe watched the anime of it. Well, let me now talk about the exploration, which is probably the most useless thing to do in this game. Not only are the chests only giving you experience and like non-existent amounts of resources, making them pretty much useless, and in turn exploration as well as making the exploration useless in turn. But I guess there is one thing worth to do, which is discovering new quests, I guess. But other than that, I wouldn't really bother with chest hunting unless you are really bored for some reason. I guess they were probably more useful in the beta test since they gave you gacha currency to pull the characters with. But now that's gone and the developers didn't really have any idea what to do with them, so they just decided to make them drop some resources and a laughingly low amounts of experience. And what are my closing thoughts to this whole review? The devs should really take more time to develop the game. In my eyes, the issue isn't necessarily that it's bad, but it just fails to capture the viewer's attention for longer periods of time, since it copies so much from other games, like even the weapon designs are copied for some reason. And why would an average consumer bother with playing an inferior product to the likes of Warframe, which has an abundant experience of being able to capture a long time interest of a player to the point where they will play it for even a couple of years and amass thousands of hours of playtime. Meanwhile, after breezing through the story and getting the characters you want, there is not that much to do besides wait for more content. But I guess this is just the general loop of the gacha games. It's just that there is kinda less stuff to do because the exploration is so dog water. But I guess if you are looking for a very casual game, then this game could be for you. Maybe you like to do and optimize missions and your farming, and it's your way of challenging yourself, getting the lowest time possible on a completion of a mission. And if you want to do it, so then go ahead, this game is perfectly suited for you. Well, it will be all for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed, and by the way, I'm pretty close to start streaming. I'ma just need to get a webcam finally and we will be good to go. So yeah, I hope you are excited for the upcoming era of my channel and will be there to cheer me on, since your support and feedback means a lot to me. But yeah, it has been Rin and I will see you later. Take care.